there's no question the pie is getting smaller. A lot of our dollars are going to the very people that are protecting and opening the holes for our skilled players. That's a good deal. That's a real deal. That's the strength of our team, arguably. This takes a nice chunk out of the pie. We obviously believe that the way to have good offense is to invest big time in the offensive line, and that's what we're doing. And then we are also pretty committed to having the talent at receiver that would, we think, get the job done as far as winning this thing.
Who doesn't like pie? Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero. Hi, guys. Good to be back. Zeke is back, Ian. At least he's going to touch down soon in Dallas. Does that mean they are close? Is this thing actually going to get done?
At this point, here's what we know. There has been significant movement in the Zeke Elliott situation. And by that, I mean he and his representation have boarded a plane from Cabo, headed to the Dallas area. That is huge movement, many, many miles, and kind of signifies how far they have come, Andrew, as far as contract talks. This thing is not done, but from what I understand, they are at the very least in the final stages of a deal that would make Ezekiel Elliott the highest paid running back in the NFL. This would eclipse Todd Gurley's number. If this gets done, it is not done. From what I understand, there are still a few significant obstacles to overcome as far as how the money is paid and when it is paid. But from what I understand, both sides, guys, are at least hopeful that Elliott is on the field Wednesday when the Cowboys begin practice for the game on Sunday.
We like to be exact here on NFL Now, so it is 1,692.4 miles from, now this is as the crow flies, from Cabo to Dallas. That is much more
Did you just Google
than many miles. No, I got it in my head. Come on, man. I don't even have a computer here. Right here. No, I guess I do.
Just a dedicated freaking flyer.
Mid-season form.
Yeah. Listen, the opening to the show, the new fancy schmancy opening to the show, you heard my report. That was from the start of training camp about how this thing wasn't going to get done until they got above Todd Gurley, and they had stayed, they being the Cowboys, had stayed below Todd Gurley up until this point. But the trade-off might wind up being that Ezekiel Elliott's going to be locked in for 6, 7, 8 years. Remember, he's got 2 years left on his current deal. So he might get to that average to leap Todd Gurley, but basically he's going to have to trade off the potential to do another deal, especially at the running back position where guys do not last that long. The skills start to diminish, particularly if you play a physical style of football. So that, I think, is an interesting part of this, and also something that the Cowboys have been trying to do by locking up guys to 5 and 6 year deals and even 7.
All right, is there money left over? That was the question. Is there money left over?
Well, Andrew, there should be. The Cowboys right now have over $20 million in cap space. That's prior to completing the extension today with La'el Collins. And you have to look at the Cowboys structure. Every team does things a little bit differently. Well, with Dallas, they generally do very large signing bonuses. They do longer deals. They also have strong cash flow. Go back to DeMarcus Lawrence's deal. It was $48 million over the first 2 years, $65 million over the first 3. The top of the running back market, Todd Gurley, he gets about $40 million in the first 3 years of his deal. So, as Mike mentioned, if Ezekiel Elliott's extension is in the Cowboys style, it is a longer deal. Well, that's a longer term for them to figure out exactly how they can make the numbers work so that he does come in at the top of the market in terms of average per year, but also gets the cash up front and gives the Cowboys time to budget that over a longer period of time. Bottom line, they would not do deals with Jalen Smith or La'el Collins or anybody else in a way that would prevent them from also extending the core pieces of their team, meaning Ezekiel Elliott and the quarterback Dak Prescott.
All right, do we see this deal as any kind of message? Because when Jalen Smith signed his contract a couple of weeks ago, people went, ooh, hey, Zeke, hey, Dak, look, we're handing out money. I mean, the outsiders, maybe this is a message. We're willing to spend it if you guys are willing to somehow meet us halfway and come to a deal. Do we view this one that way?
I don't really see it as any sort of message. I didn't see the Jalen Smith, honestly, as a message either. It was just the right deal for Jalen Smith at the time. Same thing I'd say for La'el Collins. Similar situation for both those guys. The Cowboys stuck by him through unbelievable circumstances, one with the knee injury, another with an off-the-field mess that ended up getting cleaned up. But still, the Cowboys took a huge chance on him, and no doubt those kinds of things the players know. As far as the Zeke Elliott situation, the Cowboys stuck by him a lot too. And yes, they are sort of compromising by likely giving him a deal that would make him the highest paid running back. He is compromising too by giving him a longer term. That's why if this thing does get done today, Andrew, it would make sense for both sides, which generally is why these contracts end up getting done anyway.
Exactly, at the very last minute. And then the conversation becomes, can you actually get him on the practice field Wednesday, potentially? If it is a today deal, could you get him on the field on Sunday? How much do you play him? Can he handle the workload? Jason Garrett has already said, we assume he stayed in shape. He works hard. He knows the system. And then somebody pulls a hamstring, which we hope that doesn't happen, but we've seen this before. Thank you, Ian Rappaport, Mike Garafolo, Tom Pelissero.